Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how much I have to twist her arm to come and do this job every year. And every year I just about manage to twist her arm to do it. I think it's a round of applause it deserves for a wonderful host. Okay, to this year's awards. This year's awards once again have actually created such a large number of nominations. We, as you know, we have judged the first Armed Forces Covenant Award to business, and I'm delighted that later on Commodore Bailey will come up and give that. But again, I want to say thanks at the start of this section to Andrew and the team at Fareham College for sponsoring the awards. The one thing I want to make clear right now is that while some of our bedrock awards of business, education and community will always be here, so will the Armed Forces Covenant Award. And I can announce from January 2023, we will be awarding a Disability Confident Award to the business that, in our opinion, does most to promote those wonderful people that we saw earlier. So look out for that next year. And you know what's even better? 4 years ago, the young Josh came on our apprentice bus and he absolutely ripped the place up that day by being inspiring to the year 10s and 11 students in the school. And as I said to him earlier, it's great to see you grown up, son. Well done, you. Okay, to the process. Clearly we are still inside some rather difficult times with COVID. And again, it will be up to the recipient of the award whether they shake the Lord Mayor's hand and whether the Lord Mayor shakes their hand as well. But what will happen is either I or an invited member of the audience will come up and read out the citation. We'll announce the award winner. Gemma will bring the award on from stage left and give it to the Lord Mayor. And then the recipient will be offered the lectern to say a few words or not, as the case may be. It's very much up to them. So it's up to them what they do, but one thing I will ask them to do is to stand and have a photograph taken by our Matt Farmer, who will do that centre stage as well. So to the first award, and it's the Business Award, and I'm delighted to welcome on stage and I'll get this name right, it's the Principal and Chief Executive of Fareham College. It's Andrew Kay. Will you please welcome Andrew to the stage?
That feels like a long walk, doesn't it? Thank you very much. Thanks, Steph, for inviting me to present this award today. And thanks, Steph, for putting on such an inspiring conference. It's been absolutely fabulous, and that last session particularly, to recognise the diversity in the city of Portsmouth, and it really is a wonderful place to live, work and study, isn't it? So it gives me very great pleasure to present the first award, the Shaping Portsmouth Award for Business. For many of our city's wonderful businesses, 2020 was quite a challenging year, so it's been incredibly heartening reading the nominations and seeing some of the wonderful things our businesses have done to help mitigate the impact of COVID for their staff. In particular, we would like to give an honourable mention to Compass Holding Group for their support of staff by equalising everyone's salaries during the pandemic. Yeah, thanks. To Terence Cavallo of Beckett Southsea for being such a great ambassador for our city and balancing the needs of the hospitality venue whilst also managing a COVID testing centre. And for the Portsmouth Bangladesh Business Association for driving inclusivity in the Portsmouth business community and representing the city abroad in the recent trade mission to Bangladesh. But as with all awards, there can be only one winner, and this year's winner is a local community interest company set up by volunteer-led committee and funded through local crowdfunding. Leading the way towards more sustainable and affordable grocery shopping, this company has over 60 volunteers involved in the running of their shop and now offer e-cargo bike delivery in Southsea. So for empowering the local community to be part of the change we want to see, this year's Business Award winner is the package-free larder. So we'd like to invite them to come on stage and receive their award. Thank you very much.
don't know what to say. I'm feeling a bit emotional now.
I'm happy to say a few words. This is a massive, massive thing for our tiny little shop in Elm Grove. If you haven't been there, come and see us. We just started very small. I'm just a volunteer now on the committee, but Delphine's the brains and the brawn behind it all. So I started one of the first volunteers in the shop. There's only 2 of us have been there since it started. And it's a wonderful little place. So if you haven't been, come on down and see us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again to Andrew and for giving that award. And as I said, it's amazing when you actually run a process like this, how you unearth gems. And we've heard that saying once or twice before today. So this year's Education Award, it almost feels like a Lifetime Achievement Award, with the nomination for this individual clearly showing the long-term track record of delivering for it that he has delivered for education in our city. Employed until 2011 as a member of the academic staff at the University of Portsmouth, he was head of department for 6 years and dean of faculty for a further 8 years. With 23 years' experience of school governance, 18 of these as a chair of governors, including a mainstream secondary school and 2 special schools, he chaired the Shadow Board of Governors of what became the Mary Rose Academy School, and leading on that appointment of the head teacher appointment, he worked very closely with them to develop the staffing and government structures, the budget, and the many elements involved in setting up what was effectively a new school. In its first Ofsted inspection in 2007, the Academy was judged as good overall. In the subsequent 3 Ofsted inspections, they've been judged as outstanding. Now chair of the Board of Trustees of the Solent Academies Trust, responsible for the Mary Rose, Cliffdale Primary, and our own today Redwood Park Academies, all of which are Ofsted rated outstanding. He also chaired the Portsmouth Schools Forum from 2011 to 2015 and was appointed as a National Leader of Governance by the Department of Education in 2014. Our winner this year of the Education Award is Mark Mitchell.
Well, firstly, thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate the award. It's an award for me, I know, but I need to say that I often think of myself bathing in the reflected glory of all the work that our wonderful staff do in the 3 schools that the Solent Academies Trust has responsibility for, the 3 special schools in the city that are all now judged as outstanding by Ofsted. And although I've chaired the trust and has overseen that, without the commitment of the staff and without our wonderful pupils that we have in the school, none of this would have happened. I'd also like to say that we've seen today on the stage, heard the stories of the young people who've come through with the schools and moved on to apprenticeships, supported internships, and are now in employment. This is really, really important for the city of Portsmouth. One of the things that I'm really keen on is developing the college-based training that we're setting up, trying to continue the support work that our young people need to remain students in the college, and to encourage the growth of supported internships, which are so important for facilitating the employment of young people with special educational needs. But this needs to start early. The schools in the Solent Academies Trust, 2 of them, Mary Rose and Redwood Park, are only have pupils up to the age of 15, 16. Mary Rose has a few in the 6th form as well, but they need work experience, just like our other teenagers in years 10, 11. And an appeal really to employers in the room. If you can give work experience to these young people, and we have lots of examples of enormous success with work experience, it will help those young people to develop the confidence to move on to college, to move on to apprenticeships, to move on to supported internships, and eventually to proper employment. So please, if you're able to offer work experience to our pupils, in the Solent Academies Trust, that would be much welcomed. Thank you very much again for this wonderful award. I really appreciate it.
And therefore it's the greatest of pleasure that Sharon Burt and I came together as patrons and partners last year, and the Solent Academies Trust is now a very, very important patron as part of the Shaping family. The Redwood Academy students have been here today to help with the ushering, and we intend to make sure, as I'll explain later, how inclusive we make that partnership with Sharon and the whole team. So we move on to the Community Award, and what is becoming something of a tradition within our awards. We were absolutely overwhelmed by the sheer number of the people and small organisations that are doing such brilliant things in our city. Therefore, we want to make one or two notable mentions before I tell you about the winner. Claire Warburton. Claire Warburton, whose work caring for victims of strokes empowers the patients to bring hope to their families, and Claire's citation was absolutely outstanding. Next, Kitty Lee. Kitty Lee is still actively fundraising for Macmillan and the Rowans Hospice. I can hear you say, so what? She's only 97 years of age, and she's still doing it. So again, a special mention for Kitty. And to the brilliant Spark Community Space and Rebecca and the team, whose inclusive pay what you can model allows people who might otherwise be isolated to come together and enjoy company and community. So 3 brilliant examples of people making our city better. But now for the winner. Tough job though it was for the judges, the individual community award comes to someone who has been a key part of our mental health services in Portsmouth for many years. Having co-founded her current charity, Tonic Music for Mental Health in 2012, her clients frequently citing the importance of music in their recovery. Tonic was born to create a music event that her clients could be involved with. She sells out gigs, love that term, gigs at local music venues such as Pyramids, Wedgwood Rooms, Cellars at Eastney. She's helped raise funds to pay for free music and art workshops, going on to build an approach that engages people who are either unable or unwilling to engage with traditional mental health services. The Tonic Shop was established in the city, allowing people to drop in and engage on their own terms. During COVID, the entire service was moved online to ensure service users could still be supported, and for some, this was their only lifeline to the outside. Alongside her work with Tonic, she has also completed a 10-month counselling placement working with families bereaved by COVID-19. The outstanding winner of our Community Award this year is Steph Langan.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is the first thing I've ever won in my life, so it's quite, it's quite an honour. It was great to hear all of those words, and I just want to say that, you know, there's an incredible team behind me, and Tonic is just very much a team approach. For those of you who don't know Tonic, who've not heard of us before, we run free music workshops, music tuition. We have a Tonic Ska choir where we have about 40 active participants who perform every week. And during COVID, we launched a new national programme, the Tonic Rider programme, which helps professional musicians and anyone working in the music industry with good mental health. We're also about to open up a new shop, a much bigger premises in Portsmouth, hopefully in the next month. So I just invite everyone to come and get involved and find out more about what we're doing. Thank you.
The next award is for the community organisation, and this year is an organisation that's helped hundreds of disabled people with day trips on their accessible catamaran based at Port Solent. Students from the Tree Law School and College, like many disabled people over the last 18 months, have had little or no social contact beyond their family or carers and have become further socially isolated. Taking people with any disability, as you heard from Jeff earlier, including those with complex disabilities and wheelchair users, for an extraordinary day out, away from the day-to-day, these trips give them a chance for them just to actually see something different. They're able to socialise, sail independently, get active, gain confidence, and most of all, have some fun. A grassroots charity that are providing a vital service to help disabled people to get out of isolation, and we know how important that's been over the last 2 years, is the winner of this year's award. No disabled person is a spectator unless they specifically choose to be so. So no matter how complex their disabilities, this organisation always looks after them, and safety is very much at the forefront of everything they do. Our winners this year of the Organisation Community Award is the Disabled Sailors Association.
Thank you for this. I found out about 10 minutes ago from my founder and chairman over there that we'd be getting this and I'd have to come up and say something, so it's very kind indeed. We are, as Steph said, we're based at Port Solent, and we're a sailing charity enabling people with any disability to come out sailing and access the water, the beautiful Solent around us, over to the Isle of Wight and back. And yeah, we take people with any physical, learning, mental health, hidden disabilities on day sails. We're a non-for-profit charity, so we really rely on donations from the public, charitable giving, foundations, and we're just fundraising for a new boat at the moment, actually, to replace our current catamaran. So any support would be greatly received. And we work with the guys at Wet Wheels. I know Jeff was up here earlier talking, so we're the sailing version of their wonderful boat, and we've got an event, as Jeff said, in May at Gulm Wharf, so we're going to be offering free trips on both boats for people with any disability. So yeah, if you know anybody who could benefit from either of our charities or would like to help with donating or funding, then yeah, we're at the back there, so come and say hello. But yeah, thank you very much for this, that's very kind. Thank you.
If Hayden Taylor's still in the room, if I can ask Hayden to come up and actually read out this next citation for the Volunteer of the Year Award.
In recognising this year's Volunteer of the Year Award, we had a large number of nominations who have done so much for our organisation and, of course, the city. But in our opinion, this year's winner had to be two people. Now, these two people have thought up, set up and driven one of our flagship education programmes and really delivered for the young people of our city over the last year. When you are in your formative years, it is difficult to know what road to take, and we are very, very grateful for these two people who've put so many hours in to help young people in our city to do that. This is an amazing project that they've really spearheaded and are continuing to do so under the Explore Your Future banner. The programme Explore Your Future rightly sits at the top of our most impactful programmes that we've run in 2021, and it's because of these two people that is the case. Their countless hours of hard work, toil and energy has been so gratefully received, and they are two incredibly inspiring people. So the 2021 Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Joe Burfitt and Lee Butler.
Well, I didn't know about this at all, so I haven't prepared any words. Obviously, speaking on behalf of Jo, I couldn't have done any of this without her invaluable support. As Steph said, it has taken many hours. But really, I wanted to thank all of you. We can't do these projects without you inspiring young people. My mantra is to inspire young people to do the things that inspire them. They do need inspiration. They are amazing individuals in their own right. But all of us can inspire them to make different choices and have the opportunity to really see what they can do with their futures. I'm always encouraged by the bright futures that they had ahead of themselves, and just very grateful that I get the opportunity to bring my experience, but also, as I said, connect all of you to help inspire the next generation. So thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Commodore Bailey to join me on stage in a moment. And Lee, you now know why I wanted to know whether you were coming today or not, yeah? Indeed. If I can invite Commodore Bailey to come and join me on stage for the inaugural Judged Armed Forces Covenant Award, and he will read out the citation himself.
Steph, thank you very much indeed. And amongst others, my congratulations again to getting back to a face-to-face conference here this year for Shaping Portsmouth. It's been a wonderful morning so far. So thanks very much indeed. So as part of Shaping Portsmouth's own commitment to the Armed Forces Covenant, I'm delighted to be able to present this inaugural Armed Forces Covenant Award, going to the company our panel of judges decided had made the most substantial contribution to the lives of our veterans, service leavers or families. And just a minor segue for those of you who don't know what the Armed Forces Covenant is, it represents the nation's commitment to those who protect our nation. It acknowledges that together we understand that those who serve or have served in the armed forces and their families should be treated with fairness and respect in the communities, economy and society that they serve, and it focuses on education and family well-being, having a home, starting a new career, access to healthcare, and many other things. And I think it's particularly poignant for me this year because this year is the 30th anniversary that I got on the train from Portsmouth and caught the train to Dartmouth to join the Royal Navy. So a fantastic recognition of the community that I've only ever lived in and the job I've only ever done. So as with all of the awards, there was a fantastic range of engagement and activity that deserve recognition. And I think it's only right from the panel of judges' perspective for us to give mentions to the NHS Portsmouth Hospitals Trust and to the Defence Medical Welfare Service, especially to the Welfare Officer Jan Hodkinson, who was amongst the nominees. And although the winner this year is a national and international business, a large proportion of the personnel that they have working for them at the company's corporate and technical centre at Whiteley and the Air Traffic Control Centre at Swanwick, many of these people live within the communities here in the wider Portsmouth area. They signed the Armed Forces Covenant in 2015, and the company are committed to supporting military personnel, and in 2017 were presented with the Employer Recognition Scheme Silver Award, presented to organisations who pledged their support and demonstrated a high level of support to the Armed Forces community through their normal business practices. Their ambition is to achieve gold status this year through increased emphasis on enhanced support to veterans, service personnel and their families. Employing over 130 veterans, including members of their board and executive, 12 Cadet Force adult volunteers, 28 people with immediate family members serving as regular members of the Armed Forces, as well as a small number of Armed Forces reservists, they have taken steps to increase the awareness of this community within their business. Internally, they have run campaigns to raise awareness of adult cadet volunteering and service personnel families, increased their offer of training leave for those who support cadets and match the entitlement for reservists, and have further developed peer support welfare services to include individuals who have first-hand experience of Armed Forces life. So it's with great pride that I present the Shaping Portsmouth Armed Forces Covenant Award 2022 to the National Air Traffic Service, NATS.
On behalf of Nats, we're extremely proud to be the first winners of this. It's a fantastic opportunity. Not least because we are an aviation business in a very nautical city, or just outside a nautical city. So it's great to be recognised as that. The Commodore has already explained the basis of the covenant and the fact that we like to support that broader community of the armed forces family, no matter what they are. I think you'll probably find as well that what we have at Nats is a microcosm of what you've got here in Portsmouth as well. We've got the Navy, they're extremely visible. At the back there, you've got some members of the reserve forces from the Army. We have ourselves at Nats working in the airspace above you. But all around you are veterans, are volunteers working with the cadet forces, the reservists, and of course, the families that allow those people to go and do their armed forces business. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
So we come to the final formal award this morning. We're still in this morning, and that is the CEO Award. This award is gifted by myself to the person or organisation that I've worked with in the previous year that I have felt has made an outstanding contribution to the shaping the future of Portsmouth, vision. This individual has been a rock for me and for the programme in which she co-leads. For some of the most important work we are doing in this city is around our skills and employability, and we have a number of projects you've heard about earlier. She is not only one of the most dedicated volunteers, she has also overseen some remarkable activities in her day job at the council, which seeks to get unemployed people back into work. There are a number of DWP-orientated grants and programmes that she has actually managed. And if I tell you that in the year to 2022, January, 2,418 people started on their journey and their pathway to employment, and around 880 actually found work in that work. Her leadership in our skills and employability programme has been so important in what we have achieved and what we are going to achieve. Therefore, and I'll never hear the last of this, it is with my greatest pleasure that I can announce Jane Lemaire as this year's CEO winner.
Yeah, he doesn't tell you in advance, just in case anyone wondered. It's very kind. We all do this work because it's really important. I have the privilege of working in the council with an amazing team of people. I've got Joe here today from who runs our adult and community learning, who does incredible stuff. I work with our amazing skills providers and lots of businesses. We're all here to try and improve what we're doing. And I'm very honoured, deeply surprised, and I will get Steph later. Thank you.
Thank you. Lord Mayor and Lady Mayoress, thank you very much indeed. If you'd like to take a seat in table 3. And thank you very much indeed, Lord and Lady Mayoress. Thank you. Okay, so we said that we would get back this year last year's winners, which all received their awards virtually. Unfortunately, not all of them could actually sort of be with us, but this is the list from last year. Those 1 or 2 of you that are here, but I'd like just to put your hands together for last year's award winners, please. So I said that was the last of the formal awards because there are 2 people that are leaving our voluntary organisation this month, although one of them will be reappearing, I hope, very soon. The first person who's leaving us after 2 brilliant years is Bella here, Cleo. Cleo can't be with us today. He's at his day job. He turned up in my office 2 years and 4 months ago when we needed someone to run our financial processes as we were growing as an organisation. He has transformed the work we have done. Probably every one of our partners knows him because he invoices them and he actually sort of confirms that invoice and receipt. He has transformed our control programs and our whole way of managing our finances. He's worked brilliantly with Louisa Burton, our volunteer finance director, and he's also worked very closely with our accountant, Lee Scott. So could you put your hands together for this amazing guy? Now, I've been coming to conference as a volunteer or as the CEO for some years now, but not as long as this next person. We are losing from her current role this year, Vanessa Cooter. Along with her wonderful students from what is now the City of Portsmouth College, what formerly was Highbury, she's leaving her teaching role within the college and moving on to a new career step. She's been part of the Shaping Conference longer, as I say, than most. So can you please welcome to the stage, to take a very small token of appreciation from us, Vanessa Cooter.
Hello. All I can say is I've been doing this for 14 years now, and I bring students here every year apart from last, which was okay. It's an honour to see them watching you guys, because they really do take it all in and they feel like they've been part of something. I just wanted to back up everything that's happened, that everyone said today, just with two things. I wrote them down because I'm a bit tired. Being on the front line of students, and when they come back from work experience, I hear all the stories, all the opinions, good and bad. But what I just ask you to do is do take them on their individual merits. Your experiences as teenagers are no way like theirs. And finally, be kind and ask them questions. Don't just tell them things. So they feel part of the massive decisions that you make day in, day out. Because you're responsible for them at the moment, but they're going to be responsible for them in the future. So thank you, everybody, and thank you to the Shaping Portsmouth team for being a second family.
Thank you.